Alright, so last video we had a power board. We weighed it out and broke it down. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this one, because I mean we don't want to just go off of one, you know. So y'all stick around. We're gonna break this power board down, see what we can find. Doesn't look like there's anything on the back worth getting. Oh, there's one IC chip. I don't see any other IC chips or anything like that. It looks like it's mainly copper, aluminum, MOSFETs, and that's it. So let's see what we can get out of this bad boy.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Alright, so let's see what type of weight we got here. So scale says 2.51 pounds. So if I remember correctly, if it's green on one side and brown on the other, board sort of give you medium grade for it. It's not medium peripheral or anything like that, just medium grade. So let's tear this bad boy down and see if it's worth it or not. So we'll start, let's just pull the copper off. So these are toroids, what they're called, these. Like I said in the last video, a lot of times you end up tearing the boards all to pieces. It happens. Just trim it up and roll on. Board being torn up, if you're depopulating it, doesn't really make much of a difference anyway. So I'll take a minute or two to snap off the extra while I'm comfortable with it going in the motors bucket, because I'm trying to be honest and run an honest gig here. This right here, I'm not really sure what that is, to be honest with you. It's kind of interesting. Some sort of a noise filter, it says. So I have no idea if there's anything in that worth having or not. Let's get in there and get a hold of it any way you can. Rip it on out. So let's try, see if I can get in here on this. Alright, so we'll break the excess off of this. So our copper is removed off the board. Now we got MOSFETs and aluminum heat sinks left. That one doesn't look really nice. Alright, so let's see if it'll work this way. Sometimes you can just cut them right off of there. Those two don't want to act that way though. So I'll have to put a screwdriver on those.
What are you doing, Manuel?
Doing the breakdown of the power boards from the big TVs. Is it worth it or is it not worth it? So I've already weighed the board because I know board sort will pay you mid-grade if the board is green on one side and brown on the other. So now we're seeing if the components is worth it or not.
Forget those.
All right.
I don't like those.
What's Mike say?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Alright, this is being a little bit of a pain. There we go. Alright, so let's trim these MOSFETs off of here. Make sure we got all those. And I'm not going to weigh the MOSFETs on this one. See, copper. All right, so there's what's left of the board. So most of us are just going to toss that over into the shred pile. So from where I just trimmed it, now we can get a drill to it and take them bad boys out a lot easier and faster. And we can grab this stuff at the end here. So some places may not want to give you anything for those boards. Most places will at least give you shred for them, because if you run it through a grinder and process it out, you're going to get yeah, that stuff. Since my mind doesn't want to work, you're going to get copper out of it. So it depends upon the knowledge of the yard, and sometimes you can be that person to give them that knowledge and show them, you know, to get what you need. So aluminum heat sinks. .7 ounces. So we're gonna take this, move this out the way, and drop this in our extruded aluminum bucket here. As you can see, it's starting to get kind of full. And we're going to take all this copper bearing motor stuff and put it on here. Alright, so 1 pound, 1 ounce. So let's do a little bit of math and see if it was worth it. Reference the time we used. Stick around. Alright, so I checked some prices. So our board was 2 pounds 5 ounces. Board Sort pays 40 cents a pound. So 2 pounds 5 ounces comes out to about 93 cents for that board. Not a lot of money. Their mid-grade and low-grade are both showing 40 cents right now. So it wouldn't really matter which category you threw it into. However, trying to ship that to them would be quite costly, and you would probably spend more money than you got. If you live close enough, or if you have a yard that takes e-waste and you take it to them, that's a little different story. You could probably make some money. You show up with a truckload of those and you might have a couple $100 there easy. Board Sort is showing 30 cents a pound for extruded aluminum. That would come out to 11 cents. And copper bearing motors is 20 cents a pound. That would come out to 20 cents. So taking it apart, you'd end up with 31 cents plus whatever you got for shred. I mean, shred's up, but it ain't up that much. So technically, I'm probably losing money. But I like the extruded aluminum, and you also have the MOSFETs to go with that. iScrap app showing 55 cents a pound for copper motors. No, for extruded aluminum as a national average. So that'd bring you up to 20 cents, but the copper motors are still showing 20 cents a pound, so that's still 20 cents. So that'd bring you up to 40 cents. You still haven't made half of what you would have gotten from Board Sort. My local yard's paying 18 cents a pound for the motors, which is 2 cents a pound less than both of the others show. So yeah, and they don't even have an extruded aluminum thing on the board. So you know, the point of this is shop around. We all do stuff differently. We all like to do it differently. There's different things that we like, different things that we want for different reasons. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Yeah, you're probably losing money not being able to take that to Board Sort unless there's another place around that is comparable or somewhere close to Board Sort prices. Board Sort's normally pretty good. So with that said, that's your breakdown. 93 cents for it as it is. If you take it apart, you're looking at about 31 cents plus whatever shred is, and that's about it. So hope y'all enjoyed.